Hi, I'm Bertie Leroux. I'm a transformational coach, and I help people through defining their passion and their purpose to live a deserved life. And in the process, there's a lot of matters of personal interest and also that I'm passionate about, that I share with those that I coach and mentor, or just meet in general. One of the things that I'll never be able to get used to is death. And I think all of us are the same. Not only is it people, scared of death per se, but losing friends and loved ones. And believing that you could have and should have made a difference in their lives. That they could still be with us. Because the problem with suicide is maybe you disappear and you escape from your personal trauma. But what you leave behind is actually much greater. And we can't comprehend what happens after death to those that loved you, that were part of your lives. That's one of the biggest challenges that I had to deal with. And I've lost, unfortunately, a few of my friends. And I should have seen the signs. But the psychologists tell me, and I'm no psychologist myself, I'm just passionate about the subject amongst others, is that the decision to commit suicide is an irrational decision. But once it's made, everything that follows from there is rational. So you may not, and you probably would not, be able to see the signs. So my friends left CDs for me to listen after they committed suicide, for me to help them in the system. I'm not blaming them for making them part of that decision. But what is troubling and worrying and hurtful is that it took him months to do that CD, months to plan, and then eventually do it. And nobody saw it, neither me. And it happened to more than one case. So, what can we do about it? Or can we do something about it? Or should we just be aware of the tell signs, the signs? We all know as parents and as friends that got kids and whatever. You see your friends maybe every day and your kids every day, obviously. You don't see the changes. But there's subtle changes. People that don't, not so close. You see them 3 months, 6 months, or a year later. And you see this transformation to the worse. But the own parents, the people that live with them every day, the husband doesn't see what's happening in the wife's lives. They're not close enough because they're keeping that apart, because it's part of this irrational decision made, and they're living a life of everything's great. In the meantime, inside here, broken. What can we do? What can we do to help people like that? Because not everybody in trauma situation, we have mental health issues that people is going through. We have got social environment pressures and things that people struggle with. And then we've got also things that happen to us in our lives, what comes through chronic illnesses or situations that we just find difficult to manage, that lead us to a decision of escape. Decision of escape. So what can we do? We must just be, all I can just say always is just be aware about the subtle changes. To refocus. Change of your kids' dress. They used to love red, now all of a sudden everything is pitch black, vice versa. Just the telltale signs that we must watch for in everybody. People go through financial distress, and they, at the end of the day, decide, I cannot manage it anymore. And they leave the trouble to somebody else. physical trauma, motor vehicle accident, you lose functionalities, whatever. It's difficult to live their life like that, granted. But there's no reason still to take you away, because if you're not there, people are going to miss you. You can't foresee that. And is it fair to them when you make a decision? So we need to reach out to people. Bullying, it's one of big issues. Lots of kids commit suicide at primary school level. How terrible is that? That they can go through that decision and make a decision and commit suicide without sharing it with somebody. Because they've been bullied, telling they are nothing, they're worthless, they don't count, they're not part of. In the meantime, they are the future. We need to look at them and understand them. So there's so much distress, and there's lots of illnesses. We understand it. Things that happened after COVID, depressions and anxiety, forms of disorders, has become the #1 illness in the world. Mental health, the biggest challenge today. So I looked at statistics, but I don't want to share and be specific. All I can just say is that World Health Organization has got statistics about suicides across the world. There are certain countries where it is exceptionally high. Other countries where it's non-existent. So there's culturally, as I say, there's places where suicides are high because of, for those kind of reasons, the beliefs that they have. Religious related beliefs that they have, and they commit suicide. We don't need to lose those people. Traditionally, there was more males committing suicide than females. The gap is closing. There's many more suicides from females at the moment. And those statistics is worrying. And the numbers of suicide per 10,000 or 10,000 of population is unacceptable. And sometimes in schools, if you have one, you've got another one, 2, 3, quickly after one another. So schools now know and look out and saying if there's one suicide, they become prepared, and they become at the tip of their toes. They try to do everything they can to make certain that the kids are aware about the consequences. Because if I've been thinking about it and somebody close to me do it, then I end up doing the same. So I want to leave you with the thought, and this is a worrying thought. It's a worrying concept, this whole concept of suicide. We don't need to leave and lose those people. And as I say, the trauma that's left behind, because a miss of people is one of the reasons of suicide. So if you then take it away, you actually invite the next person to go down that path. So look, be aware of it. Understand the influence, the impact you have on people. The words that you're using, the degrading words. If you've got a problem with your own identity, or you see others with a problem with their own identity, come forward and help them, or advise them to address that, because it's not necessary. One suicide is one suicide, and one death too many. Thanks for watching. Please follow me on YouTube, on LinkedIn, or on Facebook, and see you in the next video.